En een hele goede avond met z'n allen, of allemaal alleen. Op deze zaterdagavond voor een nieuwe sessie van Final Fantasy 14, waar ik nu meteen in kan. Verrassend genoeg. Oh, toch niet. 58 players in de queue. Oké. Moeten we toch even wachten. Wachten we toch even. Goed, hier zijn we dan weer. Ik heb mijn dailies in principe vandaag al gedaan, dus dat hoeft nu niet meer. Dus we kunnen gewoon verder bij waar we gebleven waren. Maar voor de zekerheid eventjes mijn settings controleren. 60 fps, mooi. Dus op naar de volgende zou ik zeggen. Oké, Sound Bell Schools in. Dus even kijken wat dat gaat worden. Care to join me? Of course, of course. Tuurlijk gaan we mee. It's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphinaud can tear himself away from his new toys. Let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. It might be for the best if the others should return. Tell them we will not be long. Oké. Yay. Het geluid wel ietsje harder zetten. Oké, waar gaan we nu heen? Naar buiten? Ja, dus. Oké. LSA. Heading out for a stroll? Free company? No, thank you. I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphinaud of all people worrying over his reputation. And at our alma mater, no less, will wonders never cease. That's a good one. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Het is weer een hele heen en weer geloop, denk ik. Even kijken op de map. Dit is de studium. Dan kan ik dat ook zo doen. Zo. Hier zijn we dan. En ze staan achter mij. Jawel. KWW. Here it is. Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Yes. Duh. While most of the space is taken up by the expensive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. Interesting. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Stumble. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. A long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless of other fields, standing out as Charlayan's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed. I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stomping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and etherology. Undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on. You both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you are equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. And I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects have I ever been in his shadow. Nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leveler began. Alphino Leveler. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. We shall wait and see. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. No, there's no time like the present. Let's go. Oh, first things first. Let's look for Scholark Montechain. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they can have seen him. We can do that. No problem. And Nou moeten we naar binnen. Excitable student, okay. But that was Alpha No Leveler. What? That was Alpha No Leveler, wasn't it? The Alpha No Leveler? He's with his sister and Master Baldesion's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Oh, sorry. You said you're looking for the Scarlark. Yes, knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Aliapo could have a better idea. Okay. And she's in the next chamber over. And I can enter here. Oh, there she is. That is Are you lost? Wandering off the streets, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome for Searcher's Meet. Searcher's Meet? Okay. You say so. Let me start with the question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studio? That's right, books. What's the second most important? That's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Oh. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Paisa this, tongue of Giganto that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish. Being a school of magic and all. A newest gleaner, you'll have to work cut out. You have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I'm no gleaner. Don't start like, oh, what do you mean him? He was here, but now he's not. Did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to make us meet. Okay, what's that? Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. The laboratory of sorts. Home to many rare, expensive curious. Not to mention so alarmingly frequent accidents. You lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Feeling you'll need it. Okay. Dan moet ik weer terug. On the opposite side. Level-headed student. Okay, he offered me advice on my current research project. We spoke at length. I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of your auditoriums? Back there, perhaps. Niet in de hal. Oh. Daar is die. Ah.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louis-svr in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Okay, let's see what you have to teach.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third? Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked.
Interesting.
Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Okay, that's an interesting theory.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
That's an interesting theory. Let's see what
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity.
You might be getting somewhere, Alphino.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
That's a very good question, Kyle. Let's see.
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
All right, mission complete. Next one. Okay, capital idea. Well, that's giving me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives and the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling this friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. On that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo, the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. En dan gaan we hier richting de uitgang. De faculty. Oh, dat is daar, tuurlijk. Kijk aan. De faculty. Oké, dat is een crafting en gathering spel. Oké. Daar hoef ik niet achteraan. Nog niet. Oké. Annex, here we come. Binnen. Ja. Yes. Vertel. Oké. Dit is tekst, geen... Oké. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. Yes. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warding skills was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of EU-svr and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. Okay. The time has come for us to go in the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Vilbrand? Okay. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Kijk, daar liggen de dozen. Ew, didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Petra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul in each of and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I've little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine what that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news on our own share. I hope so too. Thank you. The tide is about to turn. Feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. Alright, let's go. Enter the command room in Limsa Lominsa. Okay. Travel. Limsa Lominsa, here we come. En het regent. Leuk. Daro dus. We still to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seer and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare or shall I show you to them? Okay, let's go. Proceed. Yes. Let's go. Oh, weer allemaal tekst. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful. Pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. We arrived that this discussion will be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It's reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plans entails? Hinges entirely on the warding skills and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. Okay. During our time at Charlian, allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts, with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Rats Adhan has given us case to hope once more. Time has come to free ourselves of this menace. It is you, the Science 7th Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the EU-svr contingent. You think such a progress has been made in so short a span? Okay. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telophorois every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside decades of conflict and conquests, that we simply chose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is a reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telophoroi. They are certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spires' primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Ishtola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on our observations inside the Tower of Zod, the Spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. Excess of ether remains unaccounted for, and be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the largest spire in the capital. There's a logic in that, regardless, once we have uncovered the truth. We will bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, thank you, Estinian. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the EU-svr contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. What? Honor and glory? No, not really. Revenge? No, that's the dark side. I'll keep it in the middle. Couldn't have put it better myself. Good. Stola, Thankard and Uriazi have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. Okay. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the lording scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to EU-svr. Rauban and Lord Emeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, purse and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They are not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge the Eorzea will be as you left it, or better upon your return. Okay. Let's see. Wat nu weer? En ik sta weer buiten. Wat moet ik nou weer? Speak with Rauban in the Alamigan quarter. Map. Fine. A lock. Okay. Hier kan ik wel vliegen. Okay. Roban. There you are. Aha, the Wanderer's return. Been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding skills of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the EU-svr contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Guardians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Of course. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side. Charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles of my own to fight. Your lodge may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. Once you fight the good fight in EU-svr, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Huh? Word of your exploit travels quickly. From what I gathered, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of the expeditionary force. Contribution on this occasion is not a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. Or you're not coming with us. Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. To Lothlorien I have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But although every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. And stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the EU-svr contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. That may be possible, yeah. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. Both answers. Beide reacties zijn echt niet. Fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Although your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. Huh. Okay. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Okay. Or I may have defect. For political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? Sure. Sure. Of course. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. Oké, dit was dus weer een leuke show. Complete. Best of the best. Accept. Best of the best, huh? The other members of the EU-svr contingent are gathered in the Royal Palace. Okay. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Okay. The remaining members of the Scions, your friends and most of the EU-svr contingent await you within. Moi, would you like to see you through? Of course. No, I wanted you to jump in the ashtray. Let's see what this is.
By the 12.
Wauw. Leuke opkomst.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the EU-svr contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Oké. Die zien we ook weer terug, na lang weg geweest.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands.
I'm a sage, thank you very much.
Sends her regards, by the way.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gradanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead.
Perhaps it will. Perhaps it will.
Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolain!
Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light. Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of derring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, There's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today, tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Doma. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range.
Okay, is that so?
Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
Well, that is... that's not clear, then you have no business being there.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Okay, speak with Istola. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Fortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding skills to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Or why not? Yep. And over. Many thanks. trainers. She's got her own to throw in a lot with those whose ticket I was supposed to be stealing. Our leader managed to save the countrymen I betrayed. That is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emerick. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. Duchy of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large. I will lead us to victory. Yay! Okay. Please. At the set of warning skills. Not that I would know what they look like. Okay. Hand over. Okay. There you go. Okay. Sorry. All the better to fend off the brainwaves. Right term. These will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Yeah, only one way to find out, eh? Nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hills. It gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Sicard. Heard you got something for us. Yeah, I do. There you go. Ah, damn skill. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. One more thing. I know that you're all thinking, why didn't they send Ainzar instead? Ainzar? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfer told me. Plus, they need someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say I haven't got a sense of humor. Blah, 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 blah. You too, little one, yes. Yes, so these are the famed boarding skills. Enough for me and my men, I see, yes. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sirena. Game prepared, yes. Hand over, yep. There you go. From here. Distant lands in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. Hope I have done his words justice. Doma likes much of Lothard being plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wishes to express his shared conviction. He and Yugiri labor without us to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. Okay, and we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repair their efforts by ending this war. Yes, of course. Over there, Maxima. One for you too. Haven't got any more. Blah blah blah. Okay. And I'm outside again. Okay. Okay, that is tagged. Needn't worry about Oriage and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Twintania claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. Well, I had time to find something to my liking. Ark. That the cry of science in need of a tailor, I hear? What? Who's that? Satoru? How? Yeah? Wahahaha! I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsebard without telling me? Nothing escapes my notice. Now, you will wear these garments I've made for you, whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit? As well, wait. You're coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. All in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? You'd have one other thing to share. Hermes and Bloomweeda have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. We'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Erosia. And still be running things back at headquarters. I was wondering if I could lend a hand at Charlian. Why not? You can keep Kral company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there, and I heard Agmers and Bloomweeda did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge on the Rising Stones, with nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport our souls to another world. If anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlian. Really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return. I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Blah blah. Let's go. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Best of the best, complete. Okay. Next. Tataru, yes. there he is. Frosty Reception. Yep. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Okay, I don't see anyone. Ironworks pilot. Oh, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? Here we go. An honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. Many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable imperial defector. That recent company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. Are ready to depart? I will ready the engines. Okay. Upon boarding the airship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Okay. Proceed. I'll just try.
EU-svr, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly? On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius, the winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party.
Oh, did you now? Okay, let's hear it.
They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they are led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
Perhaps we will find out.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into two groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
mij moet ik nou weer mee gaan doen. Weer niet. Ja, dacht ik al. Wat we... Even kijken. En wat hebben we hier? Een solid barrel combo. Nebula. Swift Deception. Masks your presence, making it impossible for most enemies to detect you and increase movement speed. Cannot be cast while in combat. Silent Takedown. While hidden, delivers an attack that neutralizes Imperial soldiers. When the target is Magitech weaponry or a guard dog, delivers an attack with a bonus of 100. Can only be executed while under the effect of Swift Deception. 3, 4 and 5. Bewilderment Bomb. Throws a bomb that confuses the senses of guard dogs, neutralizing them. It has no effect on Imperial soldiers or Magitech weaponry. Okay. Teenage, brutal shell, solid barrel. Nee. Moet ik hier beginnen? Assuming there is nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence the mission as soon as you're ready. Are you ready?
Keep your wits about you. It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Waar moet ik heen? Oh nou, nu kan ik daarheen. Duurt maar 10 seconden. Oké. Okay, setting explosive. There's 1. explosive. Okay, something explosive. Nog meer. Heb ik net gedaan. Bewilderment bomb. Guard dogs.
Must be losing my touch. Must be losing my touch.
And there we go. And the controls are there again. Yes. Alright, no higher. Okay. I'm prepared.
Seven hells.
There we go. That is one. Damn. Okay. There we go. That is the next one. That should do the trick. Now to hide and send word. Hiding place. Okay.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Right.
Must be losing my touch. Damn, it's spotted.
Okay.
Damn, it's spotted.
Zet de controle dan. Zou moeten zijn. Oké. Ik denk dat dit hem wel is. Hoop ik. Interessant.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Okay.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
Wat gebeurt er nu? Alright. A few moments later.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but Something's coming!
Something's coming.
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Alright. Nou, eens kijken hoe ver we komen.
Protect the others! A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
Let's see. Where to next?
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
There we go.
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We're the only ones still struggling. Well, we put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good snap.
This one. Kant is er nu. Dat is allemaal. Oh, daar.
all right back there?
We're fine, and ready for more.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
North and join the Vanguard. Oké, dan moet ik me bij de Vanguard aansluiten. Oké. Ben benieuwd.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
That's Vergilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them!
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Wonderful. I'm here. Let's go.
There's no stopping us now. Come on. Let's show them what we're made of.
We have them now! Forward!
Right! Let them have it!
As a raging bull!
Okay.
That's her! Vergilia!
Do not fall behind!
Wanneer is het de helft? Bijna. Nu pas. De helft.
Before the sun!
Really? Okay. Duty complete. Oké. Good. Oei. Interessant. Ik ging er blind in. Nu verder.
A worthy adversary. Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death!
Sadu Hatun!
Cliché.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
We have arrived in Garlemald. On the capital of Ilsebard.
Not so much as a whisper,
I'd say. Continent of Ilsebard.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
So it seems.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Broken glass. Is that the name? Camp Broken Glass. Oh my god. Aetherite. Tuning, of course. Yes. En er is niks anders. Oké. Elfino. In spite of the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Fine. Would you mind asking Istola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alice and I will meet you there. Okay, Tola. What's up? A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. Truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. Air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. This, the monstrous tower of the is jagged, hideous, unholy. Even that Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceasingly toward it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. A blessing, because the chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Okay. You will be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby building and are receiving treatment as we speak. You, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me that they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry. Merely thinking aloud. You mentioned the meeting, I will make my way there. Right. Lucia, hi. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. Good. When everyone is here, we'll begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
You make a good point, Destinian.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Gratae? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
Je mag weer kiezen. There are any survivors, we will surely find them. Extensive travels is something of an understatement, but I suppose if there's nothing else that needs doing. Ice fields. I love ice fields. Oh wait, no I don't. I'll pick this one.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
Bla bla bla. First, we thought she's gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened on some time. Blah blah. Nearby, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Okay. There's something. Filmpje. Dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from a distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Oké, hoe gaan we dat doen? Oh, oké, terug. Helemaal terug. Een andere. Oké, gaan we het nog een keer proberen. Okay. Duty complete. You, stick in one piece. Oké. Wat heeft zij te zeggen? They're back. This house is packed with explosives. Thank. Another step and now below this place sky high. Okay. Please, we just want to talk. No attention for hurting or taking anything from you or anything else. Anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? Those savages are the ones responsible for all this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. Lotharoy are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald. They won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. Where we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. First person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telopharoid's influence? Are there any others like you? Sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Tell me your name. Mia. How I've managed to stay sane? I'm asking myself the same question. That night. Roar. Terrible, terrible roar. And then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped when I stepped outside. Your hells are real. I saw one that day. I ran past friends, like no alive. Eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers. Didn't stay to watch. But as far as my legs would take me. Do I have family here? Is their home? Ew, I thought so. Well, this is Victor's spoils. A mansion for retired soldiers. Was now me and a few others are borrowing it. For the explosives must make. I thought so. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe. And I didn't know if you were. With this, our supplies are running low. But you're here to help, can you? Of course, whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I gotta tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. In the session, just at desperate times, opposed at foreign troops control. But accept that, were you to provide us with means of heating the place, our goodwill perhaps, we could take you at your word. That is too much to ask, then leave us be. Reports my firewood gathering skills to you. You provide the spark with a little magic, others say. I have a fire burning in no time. Build it under that gazebo. The what? Oh, you mean the boa? Yes, yes, do as you will. Burp. Let's go. And she says nothing. Ik maar kijken. Traction is now complete. Okay. Ta-da-dam. Achter op beeld. Kijk eens aan. Oké, hier ga ik het eventjes bij laten voor vandaag. Volgende keer ga ik gewoon verder bij waar ik gebleven was. En dan ga ik ook verder met het verhaal. Dus ik zou zeggen, tot de volgende keer. En tabé keizersnee. Doei.